What's going on? You say 2 weeks in a row like it's a bad thing, Jeff. Just kidding. We're happy to have you. Yeah, let's make it a habit, man. It's gonna be a good time. Paid no attention to the "there will be none" joke. Hope everybody's having a good week. It has been crazy over here. I've got 2 videos recorded, and I really need to edit them and get them up. I've got one where, if you watched my stream this week with Flip, we had an extensive talk about bootlegs, and coincidentally, I had just recorded a video talking about bootlegs. So I've got a video about bootlegs going up. Angel is back in the house this week. What's going on, Angel? Hope you're doing well. My sister from the same mister, my actual sister, Courtney's here. What's going on? Maximus, glad you're here 2 weeks in a row. Same with you, Paul. We got a lot to talk about this week. Last week for announcements was kind of slow, and everything just smashed into this week. We have stuff from starting with Vinegar Syndrome. We have Imprint. We have Severin. We have Eureka. We've got Kino Cult. We've got all kinds of stuff that we are going to talk about tonight. Paul's asking, bootleg what? Well, the focus usually on this channel is movies, so there's a lot about movies, but I do mention records in the video. There's a few things that have come up recently that I wanted to get out there and share some info. We've got some people worried about buying bootlegs, so I want to make sure that they could tell the difference, because there's a lot out there, a lot of people trying to take advantage of people willing to part with a lot of money over something that they think is real that's not real. So just sharing that info. Angel's doing good. All right, man. Let's see how long you can stay. Severin, this is going to be a big one tonight. Yeah, I mean, Severin has taken a hit out of everybody's wallet this year. This is by far Severin's best year. Is there anybody that doesn't agree with that? Is there like somebody that really loves Night Killer or something that was their favorite Severin year? I don't see how Severin can continue being this consistent. This year has been insanity. I mean, not only the Milligan box set, the Christopher Lee box set, they announced the folk box set. Hopefully we get that this year. We'll see. The Nun box set that we're going to talk about tonight. But I mean, they also put out what might be their best movie that they've ever put out this year, and that's Siege. I mean, you guys have probably heard me talk about Siege way too many times so far in the last month or so, but they are absolutely killing it. Tom, I agree with you. Good job. I would say stay away from the bootlegs. Give the video a watch when it comes out, and you'll understand. What's up, John? Glad you're here tonight. Are you working again? I know you work late some nights. Hope all is well up there. So we got, like I said, a ton of announcements. We got a few pickups with a custom one that I had put together for me, for my wife for her birthday, that I'm going to show off. I think I alluded to it last week. And then we're going to get into what's coming out next week and talk about our schedule, because tomorrow is the first day of our 31 days of Halloween watch along for the channel. I'm stoked, man. I've got a pile of movies that I'm putting up on my mantle for the next week, and I'm ready. We're also going to talk about which ones we're going to watch along together. So let's get into it. What do you say? As usual, if you have any questions as I'm going through all of this, let me know. You know, we're happy to go on to as many different tangents as we can. What's going on, Mitchell? Good to see you again. Angel's getting that Christopher Lee set. Nice. It is a really nice one. It got a little, I would say it got a little overlooked this year, I think, but everything on that box set is great. And some of that, it was just literally gone for decades. So I'm stoked that you're getting it. There's a lot to unpack in there. All right, let's take a look at the Instagram. It feels like this was a month ago at this point, but literally last Thursday when we were here together, we had not seen the reveals for the Vinegar Syndrome Flash pre-order yet. So most of you have gone deep into the announcements from last week already. I won't litigate these to death anymore, but keep in mind we are getting the first VSP from Vinegar Syndrome. That is Censor. This is coming in 4K. One odd thing is this is the first VSP we're getting but because of what they did for New York Ninja, this is actually getting VSP number 2 in their catalog. I believe that means that New York Ninja is going to be VSP number 1. However, that is premiering at Beyond Fest, I think, either this weekend or next weekend. And I'm assuming we will hear about a physical release for that probably around February or March. If not then, I assume that that would be by May. But I'm thinking around February. And it would probably be a good title to put out alongside their annual adult sale if they do that again in February. So we'll see on if we're getting that one or not. But Censor is coming out. This is a deluxe package that features a beautiful hardbox designed by Robert Samlin that holds a special slipcover. So again, this is very much like a VSU. It's got a hardbox with a slip inside, and it's going to be worth it. A lot of people were complaining because this was a little on the expensive side, not realizing that this comes with a UHD disc, a Blu-ray, a full-color booklet, a big, nice box, and a slipcover on the inside. This is going to be worth every penny. I mean, even a standard 4K release has been running $40 on average. Look at Blue Underground. Most of theirs are holding steady. Like Dead and Buried right now is listed as on sale on Amazon, and it's like $43-$44. That's crazy that's listed on sale. So something like this with this huge deluxe packaging. This is the first Blu-ray release of this movie in the U.S. It's going to be worth it. And when you were pre-ordering, I think this was going for $60, might have even been $50. I don't remember the price offhand. Yeah, Couch, I agree. It looks good. And for those that haven't heard, Censor has gotten like rave reviews just from everyone. I believe this played at the local horror festival that happens here in Kansas City called Panic Fest last year. I may be mistaken on that, but I think it did play there, and it did very well from what I heard. And this is from the very, very genre-filled, that was the wrong word to use, very filled genre of movies about movies. So this is one that, let's go into the synopsis here a little bit. Enid Baines, a film screener at the BBFC in the UK, has earned an unsavory reputation for being the organization's strictest censors of violent films. Unexpectedly, Enid is contacted by Frederick North, a notorious director of exceptionally brutal, low-budget horror movies, who has requested that she personally review his work for classification. While viewing one of North's films, Enid is struck by its narrative similarities to the disappearance of her own sister years earlier. But when she finds another of, whoops, what is going on there? When she finds another, there we go. When she finds another of North's film stars, when she finds another of North's films, wow, everything is glitching out. That's working well. Let me pull that. Don't know what just happened. Let me get that fixed. I didn't click anything, and now it's going to look at all the Blu-rays. Come on. There we go. Let me add this back to the stream. So it says, while viewing one of his films, Enid is struck by the similarities to the disappearance of her own sister years earlier. But when she finds another of North's films, which stars a woman who bears a striking resemblance to her sister, Enid's life begins spiraling out of control, sending her on a mysterious and terrifying journey into the dark and violent recesses of her past. So this just sounds super interesting to me. Sardis, what's going on? Good to see you. Just watched Sophie Jones. Nice. What'd you think of it? Angel's never heard of Censor. Censor has gotten some hype this year, even before Vinegar Syndrome said that they were releasing it. And it's coming with a bit of a reputation. It did pretty well at the festivals. Ice is here too. What's going on, Ice? Mitchell mentioned that he bought a lot of 4K Blue Underground. Me too. And I've said this before, and I'll say it all day long. Blue Underground has the best 4K discs of any company, whether it be boutique Blu-rays, the studios. What do you think? What do you think is the best 4K Blue Underground has put out? Let me know what you are thinking. Maximus watched Censor on Amazon. It was a bit disappointing for him, but definitely worth a watch. Worth a watch, at least. That's interesting, and it's obviously not going to be for everybody. Other than Censor, we did find out, let me get back to the right date on here since it got messed up. We did find out the 2 releases other than the Flesh for Frankenstein that we knew about. Vinegar Syndrome, during their flash pre-order, always shows 2 titles, and they announced Trauma from Dario Argento and Creature. This, to me, is a great November. I mean, the fact that Vinegar Syndrome was able to pull an Argento title is fantastic to me. I think this is going to get a lot more eyes on the label just because they're able to get a name like Argento. This is something that I think will bring some more people like Rad did. Supposedly, Rad brought a lot of people to Vinegar Syndrome that had never even heard of them. So hopefully this does something similar. Obviously, if they're in the horror genre, they might have already heard about Vinegar Syndrome, but just Argento's name is going to be pulling some people. Sardis says, I've subscribed to the $99 deal. The quality of the extras were great. Hope this is the standard of their releases. Good. That is good to hear. So for those of you that don't know, this is the world Blu-ray premiere of William Malone's gory outer space thriller with Klaus Kinski, Creature, that they restored in 4K from the OCN. And they also have the alternate Titan Find version of that film. And then they're putting out the Giallo Trauma from Dario Argento. And one of the other things that has some more name recognition with that one is the effects are done by Tom Savini, which is really cool. It's awesome that he's in there. Dave ordered Flesh for Frankenstein. That is going to be a killer release, especially if you've got Blood for Dracula from Severn already. Those are going to pair together very nicely. I watched Blood for Dracula last month and reviewed it on the channel. It is so much fun, and the big thing is Udo gives a performance in Blood for Dracula, and what's crazy is people say Flesh for Frankenstein, he's even better. I've never seen Flesh for Frankenstein, so I'm stoked to see it. I've held out for a good release. I had a chance to get the old DVD, and I passed on it because I knew that this was going to come eventually. I'm just glad I've got it finally, at least coming my way. Jeff is asking, are more labels starting to stream? Yeah, for sure. I actually have the tab open, and we were going to talk about Kino streaming tonight, but Massacre Video even started something. Arrow Video is taking off their Arrow Player, their streaming service, and it's pretty cheap. There are some labels like RLJE. They put a lot of their titles up on Shudder, and there's a few others. Vinegar Syndrome, for those of you that don't know, as we're talking about them, they used to have a streaming service called Exploitation TV, and it just didn't take off the way that they were expecting, and they shuttered it. Honestly, it might have just been a little too early. They probably could do a little better if they were doing it now. Tom says, Blue Underground 4K of Zombie is the best, I think. That is hard to argue with. That movie looks incredible in 4K, and it is a part of their, I mean, all of them are just so good. Even Maniac, which I did not think was going to look that great in 4K, the color timing that Bill Lustig was able to get for that release looks fantastic. If you have not seen it, I highly suggest picking up the 4K of Maniac. Zombie looks great. They all just genuinely look amazing. Angel is talking about the Kino service. Yes, we're going to bring that up free with ads. I mean, you can't really argue with free. And if you've clicked over to it and check it out, they've got titles on there. First of all, exciting part, they've got titles on there that are part of our October watch along. So that'll save you some money. Free with ads. Might as well. Jeff says Arrow would be awesome. Arrow has a streaming service, and it's in the US, and it's great. They are very good quality, surprisingly. And it's extremely cheap. I think it was like $5 a month. Somebody had the cost for the Arrow channel offhand. I have not subscribed. I did the free trial, but most of the titles that they had, I had on physical at that time. So I haven't checked it out in a couple months. Arrow Player is genuinely really good. Dave is going to get Blood for Dracula. Yeah, it was a little expensive. I understand that. Maybe wait for that next sale. There we go. Jeremy's here. What's going on, Jeremy? He's got Arrow Player and Criterion and Shudder. Excited to add Kino to the list. Nice. Criterion was the obvious one. I don't know why I didn't mention that one. Aren't they going to try again? Talking about Vinegar Syndrome. Thought I read that somewhere. I'm not sure. I had not heard that. That would be cool. Vinegar Syndrome has a lot going on right now, though. I mean, VSP, they are, for those of you that don't know, they're planning on opening a second physical location that they call the Archive that they have in Connecticut. They're opening one in Denver. And they also have they have a warehouse in Denver. They also have the warehouse in Canada. There's so much that Vinegar Syndrome is doing right now. It's baffling how many different arms they have extending every which way. Mitchell watched Maniac in 4K. Been saving them to watch. Maniac, it did look great. I agree. Let's see. Kino is free, Tom asks. Yes, it is free. And we will go over some of the titles. I'll show you that in just a little bit. Let's get back some of these announcements. After Vinegar Syndrome, it was, well, first, let's see. They dropped 2 more hints. They said, so Flesh for Frankenstein in a deluxe 4K and 3D edition isn't your thing. Neither is Trauma or Creature. We've still got you covered with our duo of must-have surprise titles. As we've hopefully demonstrated in the past, we often save the weirdest and wildest films as surprises, and this upcoming duo will be no different, including our first foray into one of the craziest horror film-making cultures on Earth. For what is undoubtedly in the top 10 wildest films of its type, presented on UHD for the first time, plus a no less nuts, never-on-disc piece of American horror sleaze, lovingly restored for Blu-ray, you really can't go wrong. So for the first one, I'm not going to speculate too much on these because a lot of people have, but for that first one, there's very specific words that they use here, which they tend to stretch clues, Vinegar, when they're alluding these, but this one, it's kind of hard to stretch this one. It says, in one of the craziest horror filmmaking cultures on Earth. Now, to me, that screams Asian cinema. I'm sincerely hoping it's something like Hong Kong, maybe even a Japanese release. I would love it if they kept doing, or not kept, if they started doing some Cat 3 titles. That would be fantastic. I would love to see some Asian cinema get some Vinegar Syndrome treatment. And we do know that they're working with Kung Fu Bob for art for a title. Now, the speculation currently says that that is likely for New York Ninja, but it could be that they have some Asian cinema coming for the Black Friday sale. Not much longer until we find out. After Vinegar Syndrome, we had a crazy number of announcements from Imprint. Anybody else out there collect Imprint films? If you're in the US, it gets a little overwhelming. Imprint Films is located in Australia, and if you buy them directly, they're a little expensive. They're about $25 plus shipping each, and shipping is not cheap. If you get one title or about 7 or 8, the price doesn't change. It's either way about $30, $35, and that's a lot. And then it takes a while to get here. It takes like 2.5, 3 weeks to get here. But they've got some really solid product. Like Arrow put out Major Dundee, and this is the Imprint version of Major Dundee. Really nice box set just for this one title. They do some good work. But like I said, it's a little expensive. But if you're into them, there are some exciting titles on here. So The Naked Jungle is coming. This is Charlton Heston, and this is one that a lot of people have been asking about, surprisingly. This is one of the very little number of releases titles that we've been hoping for. We've got some new commentaries by some film critics. Really good special features from Imprint generally. There's even a 55-minute vintage documentary on Charlton Heston. Really cool. I'm expecting this one will do pretty well for them. See, Jeff has been looking at what they have, subscribed to the newsletter, and that newsletter is good, and it's overwhelming, like I said as well. They released so many titles. This is the first of 7 that they are releasing that month. Sardis bought a couple months ago. Nice. And then Eric just got Straight Story and Drugstore Cowboy. Waiting for the Zhang Yimou set. Me too. I believe that has been delayed yet again till October 20th, if I remember right. I went to the site to see if there was any updates, and it looks like it probably will not get here until early November in the States, which is sad. But as long as we get it, that's fine by me. I have plenty of unwatched movies here. Lots to watch in the month of October. So next up in the month of December from Imprint is the Parallax View with Warren Beatty. This is a pretty big title for them. This is a superb drama about one man's paranoia that turns out to be total incredible fact. Ranks among the best political thrillers. Warren Beatty is a news reporter who, along with 7 others, witnesses the assassination of a political candidate. When the other 7 die in accidents, the newsman begins to doubt the official position that a lone madman was responsible for the crime. He imagines a sophisticated network of highly trained murderers, but his nightmares pale against the bizarre truth he uncovers. This is one that I think is going to do very, very well for them. Then, this is one, people were clamoring for this title. I shared the announcement that this was coming, and I got all kinds of people messaging me saying that they've wanted this for years. A lot of people overseas that have been wanting this one. Don't know why. It's got a pretty big cult following, it sounds like. Jeff just got a 4K region free player, feeling overwhelmed by all the choices. That's a good thing. Not to mention, there's a lot of choices, but now you can make more sensible choices because things are cheaper in other countries sometimes. What kind did you get, by the way? What brand 4K free region free player? So Outrage is coming. This has Ida Lupino. This is a young woman who has just become engaged, has her life completely shattered when she is raped while on her way home from work. And this is supposedly a pretty brutal film for its time. I've not seen it, and I can't wait to see it. The next one that they announced was Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly in The Country Girl. Not really my thing. I've never been a huge Bing Crosby fan. Sardis says, I loved Beatty in Mickey 1. Warren Beatty is great. Genuinely great. I've been hounding Jeremy saying he's got to upgrade to 4K soon. You absolutely do, my friend. Jeff got a Sony. Nice. That's supposedly a really good player. That X700 is supposed to be pretty great. So we got The Country Girl coming. It's an adaptation of Clifford Odets' stage drama with Bing Crosby as the hard-drinking Frank Elgin, a once popular Broadway star whose glory days have passed. He gets a role in a new musical, and he must deal also with the actor's sour and ever-present wife, Georgie, played by Grace Kelly, who Dodd believes is the cause of her husband's failure. Interesting one. All right, Jeremy, have a good night, man. Heading to the premiere of the new genre film, Lamb. Lamb is supposed to be great. Enjoy it. And I think you're seeing Halloween Kills this weekend too, right? Enjoy your weekend, my friend. Jeff used 220 Electronics. Good. They are the ones that I always stress that people should check out. I'm one of the lucky ones. I happened to buy an Oppo, was it a 203, right before they stopped producing them. And 220 sold a chip that if you took the cover off of the old Oppo 203, you just attach it into a port and it makes it region free. And then you press a couple buttons on the remote to switch over the regions. Fantastic. Super easy. I love 220 Electronics. I absolutely recommend them to anybody that has not gone region free or 4K. They do really well. And they pretty much always have promo codes or common sales too. So do not hesitate to wait for a good deal either. Jeremy's going to see Halloween Kills at the premiere tomorrow. Yeah, let me know how they are. Eric bought the Oppo 203 right before that. Nice. It's a really good, strong player. I have adored that thing for years. Next up from Imprint is House of Cards. In 1960s Paris, an American boxer stumbles upon an international fascist conspiracy that aims to create a new world order. Have not heard a lot of people excited about this one, but it's supposed to be a pretty decent thriller. I'm sure that'll be decent. But this was the exciting one, for me at least, is we are getting Lady in a Cage. This is the classic. I've not heard the exploitation, like black exploitation films were called blaxploitation, Canadian exploitation films are Canexploitation. There was a genre for a while that was exploiting like the the aging starlet that was imprisoned, and there were quite a few movies that came out. And this is one of the most famous ones, and we've not gotten a release for it. So I am stoked that we're going to be getting this. This is the high-def presentation in 1080p with a new commentary by Kim Newman, which is going to be great. And it's got two of the best commentary people on here. We got Kim Newman, Barry Forshaw's with Kim Newman, but then we also have another one from Kat Ellinger, who is incredible. If you don't pay attention to Kat Ellinger, have not listened to any of her commentaries, I absolutely suggest it. Kim Newman is freaking brilliant, though, too. He's a film scholar. The only thing that took the wind out of the sails of this announcement for me is it was leaked, and I haven't posted it for Disconnected yet because I tend to wait for the official announcements. But this has been leaked by a B2B retailer that says that Lady in a Cage is coming from Scream Factory, of all companies, in December. So we are getting a domestic release of this. If you really want this movie, just give it a little while. Not sure if this is going to be a collector's edition yet, but it will be coming, it looks like, from Scream Factory in December. Really, really excited to see this one in HD. Then they're putting out Kitten with the Whip. This is with Anne Margaret. Jody Drew is a sweet, sexy psycho babe on the run from the law. She's escaped from a detention center, stabbed a guard, and burned the place to the ground. David Patton doesn't know all this. He's just a senatorial candidate trying to do all the right things. However, Jody makes sure all the wrong things happen. Very 1960s type of write-up about that. Looks good. Lots of new extras on here. We've got video essays. We've got a new commentary. Just overall, Imprint killing it. Just too many great things that they're doing. I think this is the last one, right? Yep. So the last one from them is Last Train from Gun Hill. This is with Kirk Douglas and Anthony Quinn. This is a suspenseful Western, and this is a pretty big title for them. I'm glad this is coming out. The art on this is great. I cannot wait to see this in person. I don't know why, but one of the things I've noticed is yellow titles amongst my collection look really good. So I'm stoked for the way this looks. Let's see. There was one I was just looking at the other day. The Eureka release of Wheels on Meals. It just pops against everything else. I love really good art, obviously. Sardis says Lady in a Cage is well worth watching. Glad you agree. The other thing we got after Imprint, we got a couple other quiet announcements about the October slate from Warner Archive, which, first of all, they came back with a vengeance. I think in October we are getting 7 titles, I want to say, from Warner Archive, and God, that is a lot. Then they're not officially announced yet, so again, I haven't posted them, but in November, it appears we're getting another 6 or 7 titles, which is crazy. One of their insiders has posted on the Blu-ray.com forums that they are doing some heavy hitters over the next year, and the rumor is that we might finally get The Devils. So looking forward to hopefully hearing about that soon. I'm not holding my breath because I've wanted that for years, but we'll see sometime next year. So from Warner Archive in October, we are getting Mary Stevens, MD, and Children of the Damned. I'm really looking forward to Children of the Damned. It's supposed to be great. Cannot wait to see it. Then the heavy hitters kept coming. This is a slow month for Arrow, and a lot of people were disappointed. They started announcing their December releases, and everybody was just underwhelmed. December is a slow month all across the board. We have the holidays. Shipping is always slowed down, and this year has been bad already. Everything is delayed. Shipments are taking forever. Places that are sending media mail, they're, instead of going for about 5 days, a couple of them, I've seen people complaining that they're not getting stuff in 2 weeks or more. Those are around the very overran hubs, I believe is the word they use, for post offices. And a couple of them, like the New Jersey one, has been bad for the last couple of years. All imports that go through the Chicago customs have been just super delayed. So I don't mind that December is going to be light for Arrow. It's probably going to be light for a few companies. For example, Vinegar Syndrome does not put up any Vinegar Syndrome titles in December. It will only be partner labels. It should be sort of a calm down month. We've had a crazy year already, but I mean, even then, December's got some heavy hitters too. From Arrow, we've got Shawscope coming. From Severin, supposedly in December, we've got the big folk horror box set. So there's going to be more than enough films to watch. I promise you. There's no reason to start complaining at that point. So we are getting from Arrow their Giallo Essentials Volume 2. This is the yellow box. This is 3 of their titles that they had put out before. It has What Have They Done to Your Daughters? It has The Suspicious Death of a Minor. It has What Have They Done to Your Daughters? It has Torso, and it has Strip Nude for Your Killer. Now, the only people that I would suggest get this is if you do not have any of these titles. Otherwise, and even then, you may not want to do this because they released these years ago, and they're cheaper individually. If you really want the box set, this is your time to get it. If you don't have the first one, you might want to pair that up. But really, this is just a repackaging of titles. They're able to bring new people that weren't collecting Arrow or buying from Arrow or hadn't heard of Arrow when they first released these. It's another chance to get them. Beyond that, people have called it a cash grab. I won't go so far as to make it that negative, but it is a way for them to save money at least. They're able to put out titles in a new box to new collectors without paying for a new scan, without paying for new art. I mean, obviously they paid for new art for the box, but not for 3 different releases. And it's 3 great films, to be honest. Even like Mitchell says here, Strip Nude is one of the best. I will say Torso is one of my favorites. What Have They Done to Your Daughters? Really good too, but Torso is the standout for me in this box. Really, really nice. I don't know what else to say. There's a lot of people that have complained about this, and it's not really something to complain about. If you've already got them, you've already got them. If you don't want the box set, buy them individually. Nobody is making anybody pay for this. And the important thing to point out is this did not take the place of, The Hitcher. Arrow was never going to put out The Hitcher in December, but instead they said, you know what, let's rebox some Giallo Essentials just to piss off some collectors. That's not how it works. Here is a closer look at the art on that. So, some really cool things. If you love their boxes and you're a sucker for them and you don't have them, go for it. And honestly, you can probably sell your 3 old ones and make up half the cost of the new one if you really want it. After that, they announced that the UK is getting Volume 2 of the Fassbender collection. If you're in the US and you want this, you can order this right now from Diabolic. Well, right now being relative. They are closed down because they're at a convention again. But this is available, I think it was $70 before he closed the site down. It's got a handful of movies in here. It's coming with the book, classic Arrow Big Box Set Limited Edition. This is another, if you want something from a really great filmmaker, this is one to go for. The Last Matinee. This is coming to Arrow in the UK only, not in the US. The important thing to point out here is that this is a modern film. And if you're wanting this movie and you're in the US, I might say wait till tomorrow. This is getting announced, coming out from a partner label that is new for Vinegar Syndrome, coming out tomorrow, getting announced. You'll be able to purchase this at about noon Eastern. This one is also supposed to be good. And I've actually heard this one compared, like it pairs very well with Censor. So let me read the synopsis of this one in case you haven't heard of it. Terror, screaming, death, coming soon to this cinema. A trip to the movies takes a deadly turn in this stylish neo-giallo love letter to classic slashers that will send your popcorn flying and have you diving behind your seat. A cold, wet day, a declining cinema. All you want is to get out of the rain and watch a good film. But who else is in there hiding in the dark? When Anna takes over projection duties from her ailing father, she doesn't expect anything worse than a broken reel or a burned-out bulb. But there's a sadistic killer in the auditorium. And soon, blood is running in the aisles as he starts picking off the audience members one by one. Can Anna and the few remaining survivors escape the murderous madman, or will they be victims of his matinee massacre? Uruguayan director, probably going to butcher this, Maxi Contenti, marks himself out as a talent to watch with a film that Rue Morgue calls visually stunning, indulgently violent. That's the sort of thing I like to hear, especially about a modern film. This is not the John Goodman matinee. For the record, Arrow already put out Matinee in the UK with John Goodman, and that is available from Shout Factory in the US. Really good title. If nobody else has seen the John Goodman Matinee, that's one of my favorites. Absolutely great film. So that is coming in December from Arrow in the UK. But like I said, if you're wanting this, there is a great release of it coming in the US. It'll be available on Vinegar Syndrome's site tomorrow. And I think this is the last one, right? Yeah, finally, from Arrow, we're getting a title that has been wanted for a long time that I'm honestly shocked that we're getting this from Arrow. I did not expect it. And this is coming out in the US as well. What was the last modern horror Arrow put out that is limited? If we're talking about UK or US, they're doing Dementor and Jugface in October. That is one of their double feature limited edition, like they did of Offspring. And Offspring also had The Woman on it, I believe. That one is coming to the UK in October. They've done a few of those. And it's nice. I'm glad they're doing some modern in there as well. Keep some eyes and keep the scene alive. No reason not to keep it going. My Stepmother's an Alien is with Dan Aykroyd and Kim Basinger. And the big thing, I think I put the features on here, right? Let me see. The big thing for me is there's a brand new audio commentary by a critic and a brand new interview with the director, Richard Benjamin. So we're going to be able to hear some from him. I was hoping for something with Dan Aykroyd. Alas, we are not able to get that. This is one that people have wanted for quite some time. It's nice we're getting it. The art is a little hokey for me, but it works. It's classic Arrow art, basically. I wish that Arrow gave the same sort of love to their art like they do for their Asian releases. Like A Tale of Two Sisters. The slipcover on that and the art is beautiful. I mean, obviously this is a cheesy type of movie, so it doesn't call for something so artistic, but I feel like they could have done a lot better than Dan Aykroyd cheesily smiling like an idiot in the background here. From Kino, we also got announced Get Crazy. There are so many titles coming from Kino in the next couple months. My God. Mitchell, the movie with the bitchy purse. Yes. We're getting Get Crazy. This is with the big name other than Malcolm McDowell. I can't remember if I've seen this or not, but it's got Daniel Stern in it. Daniel Stern is always hilarious. He was one of the bad guys from Home Alone, if you don't remember his name offhand. There's a new 76-minute documentary featuring Malcolm McDowell, Daniel Stern, and all kinds of other names associated with it, who share their excitement and joy in making the movie that trace the origins of Get Crazy. That is fantastic. Kino is stepping it up. A few years ago, if you were a collector back in, I mean, it makes it sound like it was an era of days past, but like 2018, 2017, Kino really was kind of falling. I mean, they were still putting out 3 or 4 titles a week at the time. They put out so many titles, but they were basically all bare bones releases. And we are now getting a Kino release for something like Get Crazy with a 76-minute documentary. That's fantastic. I am stoked that we're getting stuff like that. They've stepped it up with their slipcovers. This is getting a slipcover. They're putting out some big titles, and we got a couple more of them that we're going to go over right now. Another Kino title we're getting is Shakedown. This is with Howard Duff, Peggy Dow, and directed by Joseph Pevney. Just classic titles that they put out. And then we are getting Where There's Life, There's Bob Hope. Obviously, the title is Where There's Life. This is another Bob Hope title. Lots coming from them. This is just another classic that they're putting out. The picture for this is a massive old poster, one of the ones that used to line cinema halls, and they went with the crazy huge art for it. Really cool. I'm curious to see what they're going to put as the actual art on the sleeve of this one. Also coming from Kino Lorber is 21 Hours at Munich. This one excites me because it's got my boy Franco Nero. I can't wait to see this. This is already available to pre-order on Kino's site. It's got an audio commentary, and it's got the TV and theatrical ratios. And this is September 5th, 1972, the darkest day in sports history. Some 900 million sports fans tune in to watch the Olympics on TV. Instead, they see the most shocking scenes unfold. And it's also got William Holden and Shirley Knight. They turn this real-life catastrophic event into a mesmerizing story of suspense, anger, and disbelief. This one sounds great. I'll be sure to pick this up in a Kino sale. Which, good time to segue for a second. Kino Lorber Insider on the Blu-ray.com forums has let loose a couple things in the last couple days. One is there is a big Kino Lorber sale coming. The exact date had not been hammered down yet, but I believe it's going to be early next week. They were saying that it's going to have 800 titles in their October sale, and it's going to last most of the month. So if you have not prepped for that, there is a big Kino sale coming. The last big Kino sale was in, I think it was in June, and that sale was advertised as having 550 titles for sale. This is going to be a huge sale for them. Kino Lorber does great on their sales. Anything that they have on sale that I've seen or that I recommend, I will happily do a video on those over the next month when they share what is going to be on sale. If you have not prepared, you might want to save a couple dollars to the side. One thing I'll throw out there, the Kino Lorber free shipping threshold is $50. Most of their titles, when they're on sale, are anywhere from $8 to $12-ish. They even have some that go as low as about $5. So if you are, and strictly speaking of Blu-ray, by the way, DVDs go even lower. But if you are considering it, I would start looking at the Kino Lorber site and hoping that those titles are on sale. 800 titles are going to be on sale. That's crazy. One of the other things he let go is that this is probably going to be the distributed by Kino Lorber sale that is going to be highlighted this time, which means things like Raro Video or Raro Video, however you pronounce it, Redemption Films, and there's a couple other lines that Kino does distributing for. They are probably going to be on sale over the next week. So if there's anything that is associated, Code Red is another one that they've been distributing, obviously. If any of those excite you, if you're interested, I would start perhaps make an account and start favoriting some of those titles and see if they go on sale for you. Maximus says, so I'm going to be spending most of the next week flipping through all the Kino pages of sale items. Yes, that always happens. The Kino sales they're a little overwhelming when they're this big. It's pretty rare that it's that big as well. Sardis says, I thought the minimum was 79. I don't believe so. I think the minimum has been 50 for a while now. I very well could be wrong. Usually with sales, if anything, I think they drop it if it's a little higher. Kino's always been pretty fair about their sales. And if you don't know, because I haven't done a guide on Kino or anything yet, their sales are incredible, and they are the best time to buy from Kino. They have literally, like I said, they have Blu-rays for sale sometimes for $4.95. It is going to be a really good sale, so I would certainly pay attention. Jeff is asking, do Arrow or Eureka have specific sale periods similar to the Criterion ones? So I will warn, yes, Arrow does. Eureka really doesn't. We'll get to Eureka in just a second. Arrow is also probably going to have an October sale. We have not heard any information about it yet, but it is going to happen. They have had an October sale every year for the last 4 years at least that I remember. So I would expect that. Arrow is generally October, the Easter sale, Easter Carnage sale is what they called it last year, which is usually March or April. And then they have another one usually about, probably July, I think it is, their summer sale. So it's usually every 4 months, and then that's the entire year. It's usually October, and then March or April, and then July. The Eureka sales. Eureka does very interesting sales. So they'll usually do no sales for a while, and then they'll announce this specific director that we have 5 or 6 titles from. We're doing a sale on his movies and his movies only. The best thing about Eureka is that it's free shipping, always, even internationally. So if you are interested in Eureka, do not hesitate to buy from them pretty much at any time. They don't really go on sale from them specifically. Amazon might lower their prices from the amazon.co.uk site, but usually not from them. Eric's going to be spending a lot of Kino, so good luck with that. Yeah, Tom, 800. That is a huge number. Mitchell upgraded the Bava Blue titles from the 2 early. Oh, good, from the DVD box. That's nice. Oh, and there's confirmation. Tom says always $50 for free shipping from Kino. That's what I thought. Thanks for letting me know. Next announcement before we go too deep on Kino here. Another Alfred Hitchcock title coming from Kino. This is number 17. And I think it's right with this one. There was, maybe it's the next one. Never mind. We'll just come to it. Kino is putting out 2 more Hitchcock titles. So we're getting number 17. This is a brand new 4K restoration by BFI. This is from 1932, and we're getting a new commentary. We're getting the Hitchcock and Truffaut iconic interviews, icon interviews, the audio from that, and then a documentary called Hitchcock: The Early Years. This one is a short, only 63 minutes, black and white, and this is going to be a big one. I try to get all of the Kino Hitchcock titles I can. I'm still missing Murder, I think. But yes, I do think this one is Silence Artists. This is one I've been waiting on. We are pretty close to having almost all of his titles on high def, I believe. We're getting very close. Okay, so cool label, like bro move of the week. I hate to use that term, but Ronin Flicks, I think, got some pushback when they announced that just a year after putting out their fancy box set of I Spit on Your Grave, they were expecting people to double dip for I Spit on Your Grave in 4K. And this is the best thing that I've seen a label do in a long time. And this could have come from under pressure. You know, a lot of people could have complained, but they didn't have to do this. Kino is offering people who bought the, I think it was a 3-disc set in the big box that bought it last year. They're offering you to upgrade your disc for I Spit on Your Grave to the 4K disc for only $20. Absolutely great deal. So doing it. I got the email and posted this immediately. I'm glad people that bought the box set, they can do something to where they don't feel taken advantage of. Paul is asking, is December partner month 50% off? If you're talking about Vinegar Syndrome, no. They're only when they say partner labels only in December, the Vinegar Syndrome side of the site will be shut down, and they will only be selling partner label releases, and they will only have the only new releases for that month are going to be partner labels. So partner labels that are released previous to probably August or July of this year will be 50% off during the Black Friday sale, but not in December. The big sale will cover everything, including Vinegar Syndrome and the partner labels that were released before, usually 3 or 4 months before the sale. Jeff says they have some nice noir titles on Eureka. Eureka has a lot of great stuff. They're killing it with Asian titles. They're killing it with Westerns. Encounter of the Spooky Kind, put out by Eureka this year, was great. They got One Armed Boxer that just came out this year. Way too many to mention. PTU, all stuff come out for them. Keep an eye on Eureka, and that free shipping is a big deal, especially internationally. Steelbooks. Do I got one close by? One of the new ones? No. So this one got announced as one of the Lionsgate exclusive steelbooks that is coming out. This follows Three from Hell, that was an exclusive to Target. This is Wonder. I think this was directed. Do I have it in here? No. I think this was directed by Zach Braff from Scrubs. Have not seen this. Heard it's a very wholesome type movie. But this is getting one of those plastic sleeves, as you see here on the bottom. Really great colors on the steelbook. I have not heard a lot about the movie, but just really nice art. One of those titles that is going to be very eye-catching. And the big one from this week, Severin Films. A lot to unpack here. So Severin Films is releasing a nunsploitation collection called Nasty Habits. Throughout the 70s, Italian filmmakers fired a cannon of blasphemy to launch what remains the most controversial genre of all. Partake of its unholy sacrament with these 4 uncut and uncensored nunsploitation classics. In Sergio Berganelli's Christiana Devil Nun, here in 2 extreme versions, a born-again nymphomaniac, of course, finds pleasures of the flesh in a convent of the damned. Susie Kendall and Eleonora Giorgi star in Domenico Palola's historically accurate and wholly amoral story of a cloistered nun. Sleaze maestro Joe D'Amato combines sapphic lust, satanic panic, and pure filth for Images in a Convent, and with the true story of Monza, director Bruno Mattei, Severin's close buddy, fulfills ungodly vows of graphic sacrilege. Severin Films proudly presents this superfluity of depravity, each mastered with all new special features produced exclusively for this collection. Hey, there's Angel right there. No one does blasphemy better than the Italians. Amen to that, Angel. This is right up my alley. I am stoked on this. Mitchell just watched Satanico Pandemonium. Did you watch the Mondo Macabro release? That is a great film. So much fun on that one. And another one that pairs well, I think I got it close by. I meant to grab it. Malabimba from Vinegar Syndrome. So much fun. Nunsploitation films are great. Leads to so many puns. Here comes the naughty nuns. They can only be watched on Sundays. Yeah, can't really argue with that. This looks great. I'm going to pull up the Severin site so I can get some more details for you. This is due out in November, which hopefully it actually comes in November. That would be super nice. Which, by the way, they have a Black Friday sale in November, which means they have more titles coming on top of this. This is what they're freely announcing for November. What else can they possibly have? I mean, this in November, the Faux Core box set in December. Holy crap, Severin. This year has been, again, by far Severin's best year. If anybody else has an argument for some other year, please, by all means, let me know. I can't think of a single thing that would be even in contention with what they've done this year. Let me switch sharing to a different tab here. Stop that and share. First of all, box set, it is, I hesitate to use the word cheap. It is rather inexpensive for what we are getting. It is only $70 for the entire box set. And if you want to buy this bundle here, it's only an upgrade of $5. So this comes with 2, let's see, we got the 4-disc Blu-ray box set plus 2 nunsploitation photo comics. And it's upgraded from just the box set is $70. So you get these 2 photo comics for only $5. That is a great deal. Usually these Severin bundles go a little more all out, but this is pretty great still. Nice couple comics that come with them, and they're very high quality usually. So the special features on here, For Christiana Devlin, we have the extended Italian cut of the film with optional partial English audio. And it's got Sisters of Vice and the Marquisa and Nunsploitation video essay. That sounds awesome. That is region free. And important to note here, if you are out of the US, the rest of these are region A locked. That first title is the only one that's region free. Then on Story of a Cloistered Nun, we have an interview with a couple of the actresses and with a camera operator. Severin going out there and killing it for featurettes. They always do great for these things, and they are not slowing down even for these box sets. And I'm sorry, like, I love nunsploitation movies. Nobody was out there begging for a full box set of nunsploitation films. So this came out of nowhere, and it looks completely bonkers, but perfect. If you have not watched the trailer, I highly suggest it. It genuinely, the film's, just the quality, they look fantastic. Images in a Convent, here's where it gets great. Audio commentary with Kat Ellinger, the author of Daughters of Darkness, and 25 minutes of deleted scenes with optional commentary, again by Kat Ellinger. And then the last film, The True Story of the Nun of Monza. And there's an interview with Claudio Fragasso, the man himself, and Sister Zora, an interview with actress Zora Karova. I don't believe there was any nudity in these pictures, but knowing my luck, there probably is. So I'll show a few of these, and then I'll stop tempting fate. This, I mean, first of all, doesn't that just make you want to pop in that disc and watch that right now? Sorry, we need audio commentary with the Pope. If this sells enough copies, maybe we can get one. I can just imagine seeing a press release for that. A couple of other screenshots here. Some of these shots, they just look incredible. And if you've never seen a nunsploitation film, they are known for being very sleazy and in a great fun way. Let me skip forward a couple here. I guess you won't let me. Let's get away from that. Here's the last cover here. Christiana Devil Nun. Really, really excited for this. Genuinely, if you have not watched the trailer, you should absolutely watch that. It's just a couple minutes long, and if that doesn't get you excited, something's probably wrong. It is a very good trailer. We got a couple more announcements. Before we do that, I'm going to go over to the Kino streaming site so we can talk about that real quick. Kino Lorber announced today that they're putting out Kino Cult, a ad-supported free streaming channel. And if you noticed, this first one here under recently added, this is on our October watch-along list for the month. So already you're winning right there. But they've got some great titles in here. Let the Corpses Tan, Dogtooth, that's by Yorgos Lanthimos. There were some others in here. This is one, Sex Madness Revealed. I believe that is from their, what is it called? The Forbidden Fruit line. But some of these are crazy. Beware the Blob, The Nude Vampires, Frightmare, Requiem for Empire, Virgin Among the Living Dead. Some of these, I mean, the Blu-rays for these are, some of these are not cheap. They're $15, not on sale. And you're going to be able to watch the entire film for free. That's fantastic. 80s flashback, we got The Pit, The Quest. That's a new release from them. I think that's only about a year old. Rawhead Rex, kind of a trash movie, but it's not terrible. It's fun to watch once. Everybody knows about it too. There's an entire channel here listed for Bava. I mean, you got Black Sunday, Black Sabbath, Bay of Blood, the classic, Kill Baby Kill, all of these for free with a couple ads. This is a game changer. Such a great way to do this. It's kinocult.com. Will be available starting October 1st, tomorrow, for free. The type here. You got Cushing, Nosferatu, everything here. There was, let's see, there was a couple more down here that caught my eye. Full channel for documentaries. Here's the big one, the classics. You got a Kubrick for free that you can watch. Metropolis is here. The Ape with Karloff, Bela Lugosi. It is hard to stress how much. I'm a Phantom of the Opera is here. Hard to stress how much we are getting literally for free if you just watch a couple ads here. And this is mostly all from their Forbidden Fruit line, the Golden Age exploitation. If you have not watched any of those, some of them are some odd titles, but they are real interesting just to see as this era of film, how it came, things like Reefer Madness, the way people Reefer Madness is right there, the way people overreacted to some of this, marijuana, sex madness, test tube babies, pin down girl. So many of these are insane. And then, of course, they end it with a Jess Franco channel. Not a ton of titles, 7, but it's got one of his best, Diabolical Dr. Z. For anybody that has never seen a Jess Franco film, that might be the one that I say most people will probably like. Jess Franco is if you've never seen, he's out there. But Diabolical Dr. Z is a safe bet for you to enjoy. Mitchell says Kino Cult looks great. Yeah, completely agreed. It's already bookmarked for me. I can't wait to start using it for sure. And most of their stuff I've got on disc, but that'll help me because I will be able to watch them while I work instead of having to use a disc. Going back to finish the announcements, here is that other Hitchcock title I was talking about. This is Rich and Strange, coming in December. This is from 1931, even older than that last one. This is a brand new 4K restoration by the BFI. Again, with a brand new commentary by film critic Nick Pinkerton. And then we have the Hitchcock and Truffaut Icon Interviews Icon audio. Another black and white, 83 minutes, a little longer this time. If I remember right, this one, I believe, is silent as well. I can't remember on this one. Yeah, Mitchell, some lunchtime movies is perfect. Yeah, so Rich and Strange coming from Kino Lorber on, I think this is December 7th, which, by the way, mark your calendars for December 7th from Kino. They have, I think when I counted last, like 8 titles just that day coming out. It might even be a couple more because the Code Red one is coming out that day as well. That is going to be a very busy day if you're a Kino fan. We got a clue from Indicator that they are releasing A Time for Dying, another Bud Bedecker movie in 2022. I'm curious if they're going to do another box set with this. Sarda says it is silent. Thank you for that. Indicator, so they're putting that one out. And then, okay, so here's another one. Coming on December 7th from Kino and Code Red, this is Checkered Flag or Crash. This has Joe Don Baker. If you've not seen Joe Don Baker before in a movie, he is pretty dang funny. He is akin to Leslie Nielsen was near the end of his life. Joe Don Baker's hilarious. I've always been a big fan. This is from 77. This, I don't know why this is cutting this off like this, so I can't read the entire synopsis. Susan Sarandon's in this. Obviously, that's a big name. This is supposed to be fantastic. This is one that I'm likely going to be pre-ordering, and that's rare for me because I do not buy Code Red much anymore. Code Red is on my list. I will put it that much. Going to be talking about them on one of my guides here soon, probably. Whoop. Let me get this back up here. Sorry, moving my tab around for some reason. I still can't believe Kino is putting out so many titles on one day. They are crazy. Speaking of that day, Kino and Code Red, they are already re-releasing Blue Monkey, aka Insect, that Dark Force just released recently. This is an interesting one for me. They are putting this out again. This is from 1987. Like I said, aka Insect. This is coming with a new slipcover. Supposedly, this is the exact same disc that was put out from Dark Force. Literally nothing special about it. In the announcement, there was no special features, and there's nothing on the Dark Force disc. And for those of you that know Code Red, you probably know the name Bill Olsen. Bill Olsen is the name behind Code Red. Somebody asked in a comment, "Oh, there's special features?" And Bill Olsen himself came in there, and I'm going to read this comment verbatim. From Bill Olsen, he said, "Many actors are dead, people die." I laughed so hard when I first saw that. Like, you are the man behind Code Red, and that is what you're saying in response to somebody asking if there's special features. Yes, people die, we get it, but I mean, people are dead from all of these movies that Imprint's putting out, and they're still able to put together special features. There's also another comment from Bill Olsen a couple weeks ago where he, let me see if I can find it. I saved a screenshot of this for an upcoming video. Oh, man. He posted, let me see if I can find it. He basically told people to get off his back, and I laughed again. I don't understand. No, I must have deleted that one because I used it. Bill Olsen is kind of out there, and yeah, just proved it again with that comment. People die. Okay. Then we got our announcements today. I think this was, yeah, today, just this morning, from Eureka. Coming to their Masters of Cinema series, this is number 259, The Love of Jean Ney. This is an epic of the Weimar cinema. The Love of Jean Ney follows a young French woman's struggle for happiness amid the political turbulence and corruption of post-World War I Europe. This is coming with all kinds of special features. The Masters of Cinema usually do. For those of you that don't collect Masters of Cinema or Eureka, this is a line that it rivals Criterion, and I've got an example. Let's see, one of these was my example that I'll share here. I've got Drunken Master from Eureka. This is part of the Masters of Cinema line. This is number 166. And this is a dual format, and for the special features, this is a new 4K digital restoration, the original complete Cantonese soundtrack, multiple English subtitle options, audio commentary by a Hong Kong film expert, video interview with Jackie Chan, new video interview with film scholars, new video appreciation by director Gareth Evans, who did The Raid, and deleted scene, original trailer, 20-page booklet, new essay, all kinds of stuff. So if you do not collect the Masters of Cinema series, tons of stuff on here, and they are really high quality. Jeff says they generally look cheaper than Criterion as well. Is that a dig at Eureka? Don't know what that one means. They are generally cheaper than Criterion because Criterion only goes on sale a couple times a year, and Eurekas are usually pretty inexpensive. I'd even say a couple of Eureka's discs are better than the Criterion discs that have the same titles. Next up, let me make this big again for you all. Next up from Eureka, we got as part of their montage line, this is Sweet Thing, coming November 15th. This is in New Bedford, Massachusetts. A dysfunctional family portrayed in all shades of black and white lead forgotten lives. One eventful summer, in an act of liberation, the kids Billy and Nico set off on their own adventure into the fantastic and poetic world of childhood, unseen by the adults around them. I have heard good things about this, have not seen this one. This is a newer film, I believe. Don't remember what year it's from, and it's not listed, but it's supposed to be pretty good. Then they announced another Masters of Cinema title coming on December 6th. We are getting Champion from, we got Kirk Douglas in there. Jeff says price is cheaper, not quality. I agree for the most part. I think I like Eureka's cases better than Criterion's. And I know that's a weird nuance to say, but I feel like they snap together better. Yes, some of their releases are better than Criterion's Ice. I agree. Champion is with Kirk Douglas. Like I said, this is his first ever Oscar nomination and was a huge success for the director Mark Robson, who also did Valley of the Dolls. Michael Midge Kelly, who's played by Douglas, is a boxer whose fight to the top is unhampered by ethics or gratitude. A hero to his fans, his friends know him to be a selfish egomaniac who allows nothing to stand in his way. After winning a fight he was supposed to throw, Mike's life is threatened by the mob, and he is only saved through the intervention of a woman who becomes yet another pawn in his climb up the ladder. Ultimately, he is forced to re-enter the ring and confront his biggest opponent, himself. Such a cliche line at the end there. Why are the cases not clear for Arrow anymore? Are you talking about the blue cases that a few of them have come out from, or is there something I'm not aware of, because I have not noticed a major change. Some of the old titles that were coming in blue cases for a while, and then once they got rid of those, there was a okay. So Mitchell just said yes. He's talking about the blue cases. So there was a shortage of those cases from Arrow about a year ago, and so they bulked up on the blue cases, and now they're waiting to sell through those blue case titles. But most of those were for their older titles. Their newer releases had been getting the same clear, fancy cases. So if you have not picked up some new ones, you can expect that they should be coming in regular ones. Oh, look at this. Maximus says Kino Cult is up and running on Roku if anyone has one of those. I've got a Roku TV downstairs in my kids' playroom, so interesting to know. Nice. Tom Ford says, thanks for the heads up. I'm glad you're stoked. Kino is going to have a good month. I can absolutely tell. I think that, oh, nope, forgot we got details on this. Yet another December 7th title. Kino Lorber, we had this announced previously. They're putting out Hard Target from John Woo on 4K UHD. One thing that we did not know before on this is that we are not getting the theatrical version of this. That is important if you do remember that version. First of all, this is a brand new 4K restoration of the unrated international cut from a 4K scan of the OCN. There is a new interview with John Woo, new interview with Lance Henriksen, a new interview with Yancey Butler, a new interview with a stunt coordinator, Billy Burton, new commentary by Brandon Bentley and Mike Leader, and then we got a theatrical trailer, and that rounds it out. This is going to be a great release. Most people that were into action cinema of the 90s, this is a big deal title. And to get this on 4K is, to me, this is one of the exciting titles that's coming out. Like, I'm glad they did Spaceballs. I'm glad they did the classic. I was about to make a joke there and say the classic Hannibal. I'm honestly glad they did Hannibal. I don't hate Hannibal like most, but some of their 4K titles are good and all. I think this is one that will genuinely bring people to Kino Lorber to get this. And Dave, absolutely, we need a John Woo box set. Absolutely. That is something that is underserved right now. Sardis says, it seems everyone is still living. Thankfully, yes. Thankfully, it's not that old of a movie. I mean, it's getting there for sure. But yeah, this is going to be great. Once again, December 7th. If you don't have the mark on your calendar for that day and you love Kino, just put aside an entire paycheck because Kino will own it for December 7th. It is crazy what we are getting for them that day. Eric is here. What's going on? The most dangerous game, Van Damme style. Good to see you in the chat, Eric. And that is it for announcements for the week. There was a lot. So many announcements. One quick thing before I go into some pickups. Let's go over real quick what is actually due out next week. And for a while, I didn't think this was going to be something that we would stay up to date with. A lot of people pre-order, and they would get them ahead of time. Let's have this. Oh, Sardis. A day that will live in infamy. That is, you win. Comment of the night. That is perfect. Let's go over the releases that are coming out for next Tuesday. Like I said, usually I didn't think we were going to be keeping up with this, but with the production delays, this is kind of perfect timing. So next week is sort of a big one. We're getting all of the first 5 Halloweens in 4K. Halloween 1 and 2 in 4K have been available at Best Buy as of a couple in I believe today, and some people even saw them yesterday, and you are able to pick those up. Dune in 4K officially releases, even though a lot of people have gotten that already. A big title for me. This was a big one when I was younger. I'm stoked to get What Lies Beneath finally. That's out next week. The classic Monsters from Universal in 4K also coming out. Screwball Classics Volume 3 from Tex Avery. That's a big one I've had pre-ordered for a while. And yeah, John says Queen 135 4K in stock through Orbit now. If you want them, Orbit ships super fast. And remember, if you buy 3 items, you get free shipping. And when you go through their process, when you choose free shipping, you can choose your method. So when you get free shipping, you can choose priority mail and get it here within the next 3 days. And depending on where you live, it could be tomorrow. Sark's got his Woody Woodpecker. Dang it, I forgot to get that. I need to put that on my list immediately to get it. That's one I've wanted for a while. Mitchell's getting the Elvira with her autograph poster. Nice. I'm sincerely hoping people that got the autograph are actually framing that poster. That is a really nice piece. And it's nice that she's getting some love right now with her 40th anniversary and her autobiography coming out. Ice says, since you enjoy classic cartoons, you should definitely check out Thunderbean. I absolutely am. It is. I genuinely have a handwritten list that Thunderbean is on, and I will be checking it out. Next week, again, from Warner Archive, we're getting Night Shift, that big title we talked about last month. Onibaba from Criterion. That beautiful American Psycho steelbook is coming out from Best Buy. The just mentioned Elvira's Haunted Hills coming out from Scream Factory. Then we are getting the standard releases from Cauldron Films, which as of yesterday, last I checked, the limited releases of Collingswood and La Possession de Altair were still in stock at Diabolic. I don't believe those have sold out yet. So if you were on the fence about those, Collingswood has gotten great reviews. The other one, not a lot of people are stoked on it, but Collingswood has gotten some pretty good reviews. Dead Again is coming out next week. That's a big one. The Don Knotts collection coming from Shout Factory, the Shout Select line. Victim from Kino Lorber. The Stand remake that was on Paramount Plus or CBS All Access, those are the same thing now, right? I've gotten confused because I've never had it. That repackaging of Phantasm 1 and 2 from Welgo is also out next week. Then Relic is out, and Trick or Treat. This is one that was out from Code Red for the long. It was a print, now going to be available again. Scream Pretty Peggy and the Screaming Woman from Kino Lorber out next week. The sequel to Escape Room, if anybody's clamoring for that. And then one that is buried down here at the bottom, Gestapo's Last Orgy from 88 Films. Their first U.S. release is supposed to be out next week. And Dirty Laundry from MVD Rewind. I think that was all of the big ones for me. Fried Berry was a Shudder title. If you're interested in that, will be out next week. But again, big week. Star Vehicle from Unearthed Films. Cohen Media putting out The Awakening from 2011. A great film. And that looks to be it. All right. Gosh, there's so much to go over. Big release next week. Tons of announcements in the last week. Time to go over some pickups. The first one I'm going to go over is the custom one. Let me share this back up because it's kind of big. This is going to be reflective, so I'm sorry in advance. Again, I did this for my wife's birthday. I had a friend of mine who used to be a framer, I guess you call it. She worked at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or somewhere like that. She helped me get this done, and I have this set that I put together. This is my wife and I when we met Jigsaw himself. This is an autographed saw blade by Tobin Bell that says Jigsaw. And then there is us meeting Shawnee Smith. And then this poster we got autographed by both of them. Says to Ryan and Laura, and the entire thing is professionally mounted. I love this. This is going up literally in our living room. Can't wait. The wife loved it. Super nice set. I love stuff like that, and it's nice when it's something I can share with her. Saw was always a big deal for us. When we first started dating, it was right around when Saw took off. The first Saw, gosh, what year was that? 2005, I think. John went to that Crypticon. Nice. I probably saw you there. Yeah, when the first Saw came out, we saw Saw 1 together on opening night in the theaters, and we saw the first 4 or 5 together before she moved out of state for a while. And then after that, we finally were able to see what was the last one? We saw Jigsaw together, and then we went and saw the Book of Saw this year. So we've gotten back to the tradition. I'm glad we can share that. Couple cool pickups this week. So the Synapse sale that was happening through Cinema Classics. I had never used them before. I was interested in trying out the Jeff says it's a perfect date movie. Absolutely. I was interested in trying out the site. Flip, that I do the other stream on Tuesdays with, he has recommended Cinema Classics for a long time. They get titles in early, like Kino titles that are not due out until late August. I think he even has an early November title. He ships like 5 weeks early from Cinema Classics. I don't know how he gets stuff so early. He gets them early. He gets Arrow video releases early. If you've never used Cinema Classics, they're a little pricier than other sites, but if you really want it soon, you can buy it from him as soon as it's in stock, and just pretty decent. I got a handful of Synapse titles from him. I got this isn't monetized, so who cares? The Violent Shit collection on DVD. 5 Film Collectors Shitition. I think that's how you pronounce that. Supposedly this is awful. Never seen any of them. It's just got a name that begs to be watched, and it was super cheap. And it's 5 movies. It's difficult to go wrong there. Next one is the Asian Cult Cinema Collection release from Synapse of Entrails of a Virgin. This was very cheap, and this does not have a Blu-ray release as far as I'm aware. So had to get that on DVD. And then last DVD here is Chiller, the complete, let me get all the glare off there, the complete television series. Not, when it says the complete television series, that sounds like a lot. This is only 4.5 hours long. Nothing crazy. I think this 2-disc DVD set contains the following episodes, and it lists 5 different episodes. Interesting. I've wanted to see this for a while. It was on my Amazon wish list. Yeah, Maximus, some super classy pickups here. Not only are these sleazy, the next pickups we're going to talk about are the new ones from Mondo Macabro. So that tells you a lot. There's going to be some interesting ones here. I'll save that since that's a little sleazier. From Synapse on Blu-ray and DVD, Countess Dracula. Can't show the back as there is nudity. This is one of their better releases, supposedly. Did not have that one yet. One I don't know how I didn't have, as it's Hammer. I'm surprised I didn't buy this a few years ago. Vampire Circus. I again, astonished I didn't have it. I love Hammer horror. Some interesting shots in this one. John asked, when are they going to release Kindred? Supposedly, Don May, announced what has been going on. He sent the disc away for mastering, and then dude that was supposed to master just went on vacation and didn't get anything done beforehand. So he's expecting to be getting it back probably around October or November, finalizing like the menus, special features, make sure everything that's supposed to be on the disc that should be there is there. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kindred as late as February or March, or sorry, at least hear about when it should be available. However, I would also not be surprised if we didn't get it till about a year from now. I mean, it's Synapse. That's the sad thing. Synapse is known for having some very long delays behind hyped titles. There's a few titles that they've showed a screenshot of. We're working on this restoration, and then 4 years later, you finally get an announcement. So the last two I got from Synapse are The Exterminator. This is one I know literally nothing about. Reviews say it's supposed to be pretty good, so interesting on this one. Mitchell also got Countess recently. Good, nice. And then the last one from Synapse, this was on my Amazon wish list, and I'm glad it's off of there so that family members that go look at that do not see this anymore. Life and Death of a Porno Gang. I can't show the back, obviously. It's Life and Death of a Porno Gang. There is some offensive things on the back. Jeff says people die and go on vacation. Yes, they do. And the other one, I've got I forgot. I'll show that one off at the end because that'll be a nice juxtaposition of all of the sleaze. So from Mondo Macabro, they put out 3 limited edition red case Blu-rays just recently. And I'm going to bring up for them, last week, we talked about the guide videos that I've done for boutique labels, and some people expressed an interest in Mondo Macabro. I am going to be doing a guide on Mondo, but it is probably going to be delayed until about November, and it might even be pushed till December, but there's a reason for that, and it will be a very good reason, I promise you. So I am looking for another label that people want to see a guide to. Things like when's the best time to buy, when's the best place to buy from, the type of releases they put out, things to expect, high quality, things like that. So if you have a label in mind that you'd like to see a deep dive into, like a half-hour video, history of the label, everything, let me know what you think. The Mondo Macabro releases, these are incredible. Nothing, let me check the back. Yeah, nothing on the back. This is It's Nothing Mama, Just a Game. This is also known as, I think this is Beyond Erotica. Yeah, this is also known as Beyond Erotica. The reverse sleeve has that title and everything. The back here, you can see what type of movie this is. And you can see they number all of, oops, wrong side, all of their releases here. This is number 260 of 1200. Jeff asks, are you planning a lot of label-specific videos? Yes. So if you have not seen them, I try to do guide videos every 4 or 5 weeks to a specific label. The last one I did was in August, and that was of MVD Rewind. I've also done Scream Factory, Severin Films, and gosh, that might be it at this point. I think there's one more. I also did Hamilton Books. Not a label, but a retailer. And I would like to do a deep dive on pretty much every label, but if there's certain ones that people are wanting to see soon, I can fast-track one. The next release from Mondo Macabro is The Designated Victim. I'll also point out that, speaking of label-specific videos, my next release of all the boutique labels that I collect, and so should you, should be out in the next couple days. That's the other one that I've recorded, just putting some final edits on. Pointing out, these Mondo releases have some art cards. This one also has a booklet in it. Really nice setup. I love their limited edition releases. And I think all of these I can show on this release. These are really high quality. Like, these are double-sided. Really nice art in the original language and everything. And the face on that one. These look great. Mitchell says the past couple releases he has been getting the limited. Hope they continue releasing Nashi. I believe Jared, the gentleman behind Mondo Macabro, has said that he's got at least one more Nashi title coming. But I know he loves Nashi, so anything that he can get his hands on, he will. And then the last one on here, this is, just in case, I'll cover up this a little bit. This is, I can't see, Human Animals. This is number 264 of 1200. I won't hold this too close, so it'll be a little blurry. This is the back here. Again, lots of special features, brand new 4K transfer from the film negative, interview with the film's director, writer, producer. There's also in here another full-on booklet. And these aren't Ooh, there's not a lot I can show in here, but these are nice. Lots of information. John says his hasn't shipped yet. I think Jared said this swamped him. Yes, it did. I actually just spoke to him recently, and he was saying it took forever to get there. And if you didn't order, Jared, sorry, I started two different sentences there. Jared is really good about shipping out orders in the order that they were received. So this 3-pack that I bought, I literally ordered within the first 2 minutes. And he also gives out the limited release numbers in order of receipt. So in those first 2 minutes, I was already almost number 300. So he has hundreds of orders. And if you got in there a couple days late or a couple hours late, it's going to be lower in the line, unfortunately. Finally, from Mondo Macabro, he also had from what is this? Le Chat Quifume. I don't speak French, so that was probably terrible. My apologies. They released a Jean Rollin film. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it is a 4K UHD film, and this is sold out in the world over. I cannot show the back because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures, and at least 3 of them have nudity. This is supposed to be a great release. I've got, I believe, one more release from that label. They always do great work, and I can't wait to take a look at it. The last one that I'll show, that again, I forgot this was at the bottom of that stack, but this will be a hilarious juxtaposition. I'm also a big fan of live musical theater. Don't know why, always loved it. SpongeBob the Musical live on stage finally got a Blu-ray release. This is supposed to be incredible. I know somebody that went and saw this live in New York, and they could not stop talking about it for like 3 or 4 months. The performances in this are supposed to be amazing. This had a DVD release, and people did not think it was going to get a Blu. I'm glad we did. Have not opened it yet. I do plan on watching this soon. I kind of wish it had a digital copy so I could watch it while I work. And this is, yeah, an odd pickup compared to Mondo Macabro and the sleaziness that we just saw, the 4K porn film. But that's the perfect way to end that. Let's see what we got here. John says, I recently got some Severin titles, including those convention slips for Midnight Bloody Moon. Yes, mine, I think, are here, waiting for me to pick up, or they're about to be here. One of the two. Mitchell says his are in the 300s. Oh, glad you got them. Nice. And the dirtiest of all pickups. Yes, the dirtiest of all pickups, including SpongeBob the Musical. Sardis says you would never buy that. Why not? It's supposed to be amazing. Okay, last thing we have to talk about before we call it a night. And this is a cool thing. Been hyping up for a couple weeks. I hope we've got some people here that are planning on participating. Anybody planning on participating in the October watch along with myself? And I know a couple others that are going to be watching some of these. My wife is, obviously. I believe my sister said she was going to be watching some of them. And I've got a few friends that I talked to on Facebook that have watched along here, are going to be putting some of them on. We have a really cool first week ahead of us. And I went and grabbed all of the ones that I own on physical media from the first week that we're going to be watching. So tomorrow kicks off with our Horror in the Woods pick for the week. We're going to be watching Just Before Dawn. I've seen this one before. My wife fell asleep, so I'm stoked for rewatching this one. This movie is incredible. This is a really underhyped, like, backwoods slasher movie. Really good film. This is the Code Red release from a few years ago. This was a re-release, and I believe it's been re-released. Code Red, again, kind of trash. The cover, most people know. This is the classic cover. Just Before Dawn is great, and if you have not seen it, I highly suggest joining us for tomorrow night. Saturday is our first day of Foreign Frights, and we've got Baskin. This is the release from Scream Factory. I have been dying to watch this. This is why this is the first one I put on the Foreign Films. This is from 2015 or 16, I think. and 97 minutes long. Nice short movie. Can't wait to see it. The next one, I do not have this one, but I believe it's available streaming. Diabolique from 1955, the French film. It was put out by Criterion. A lot of people have that Criterion disc. Maximus cheated and has already watched Just Before Dawn. It's excellent. Yeah. What do you think? Like, not to get into spoilers yet. We'll probably get into some of those next week, but that film is so well done, and I hate to call it necessarily a twist, but the tool they use to make that movie effective is really good. And John, I'm sure your unwatched pile is quite large with the amount that you get, just like me. Sunday of this week is Hotel Hells, and again, double features on the weekends. We've got, had to go with the namesake. The first one is Motel Hell. I have not watched the Steelbook version of this, which was a new 4K scan. So, oh, and my wife has not seen this one, so this will be a first-time watch for her from Scream Factory. They also had the standard release of, or it's a collector's edition, but you know it's not the Steelbook release. But that is just a their older release. And then we have Vacancy from 2007 with Luke Wilson. I don't have a single title of that, but I do have Mill Creek's Queens of Scream set, which includes it. Has I Know What You Did Last Summer, When a Stranger Calls, and Vacancy. So I will be watching that on here. For those that don't know, it's got Luke Wilson, Kate Beckinsale, and Ethan Embry in that one. And I can't remember if I've seen Vacancy or not. So I think in my mind, I am conflating Vacancy with Wrong Turn. I know I've seen Wrong Turn. I don't know if I've seen Vacancy. I don't think so. Monday is Silent Madness. So Mondays in the month of October going to be silent films, and I don't think I'm going to get here in time. I ordered The Man Who Laughs from Flickr Alley as a part of their sale, and if it does not get here in time, I believe it is available streaming. But I will have to take a look at that. That one is from 1928. Great film. I can't remember if I've seen the entire thing, but it is, man, well, we have a really good Monday lineup for the rest of the month. I was going to say it's my favorite, but it might not be. We're putting it up against Haxan and the Golem and Nosferatu. That's a really tough ensemble there. Eric, if you're still in the chat, he was excited about this 1-2 punch. We have on Tuesday folk horror, and I purposefully chose none of the titles that are going to be in the Severin box set, and a couple of these are a little off the wall. This might be one of them. Folk horror for this week is going to be The Wailing. This is a really, really great film. If you've never seen The Wailing and you can only watch one film this week, this might be the one that I suggest. Eric is still here. He just said he's still here. I would be willing to bet he would strongly recommend this film. This is one that came out in 2016, and you can see from the back here the type of visuals that we got going for us. It is called one of the year's best films and a hell of a ride. And just to give a synopsis for this, in this unbelievably tense supernatural thriller, a foreigner's mysterious appearance in a quiet rural village causes suspicion among the locals. Suspicion which quickly turns to hysteria as the townspeople begin killing each other in brutal outbursts for seemingly no reason. As the investigating officer watches his daughter fall under the same spell, he agrees to consult a shaman for answers, unknowingly escalating the situation into something far more dangerous. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to watch this again, I should say. The Wailing is great. And the best part about this is The Wailing is on Tuesday. Really fun 1-2 punch here. Wednesday is my family-friendly night, because that is always my movie night with my kids. Kyle's leaving. Have a good night, man. Sleep, dream of all the 4Ks. Amen. And then Maximus says, The Wailing is great, really does the patented Korean tone shifts well. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. 1-2 punch. So The Wailing's on Tuesday. Wednesday is family-friendly. My kids have never seen this. They've never seen anything like this. But we are watching The Witches from 1990, I think. Is that? Yeah, 1990 with Angelica Houston from Warner Archive. This is fantastic. A lot of people remember that visual when they think of The Witches. This is, I don't think my wife has seen this one either, which baffles my mind. my wife was prime age to be able to watch The Witches and somehow never seen it. So this is going to be a big one. Really stoked to show the family. I think this is only like 80 minutes. Oh yeah, 92 minutes. Another quick, easy breezy movie. Then a fun one for me. I'm super excited for next Thursday for not only for our stream, but we are going to be watching Severn Films' new release of Cannibal Man, and this is for Video Nasties. This is the Eloy de la Iglesia film, and this is one came out in 1972. I've never seen this. Can't wait to watch it. This has been something that I've really wanted to see for quite some time. I've really wanted to go through the entire list of Video Nasties, all of them. I believe there are 2 separate lists, and just be able to rank them myself and say that I've seen them all. Being able to cross one off is going to be great. And then just to get a little ahead, in case you were buying through all of next week or planning your streaming or anything like that, the next one will be Eli Roth's Cabin Fever next Friday for Horror in the Woods again. So that is our entire week. I've got all of them on disc except for Diabolique, The Man Who Laughs, and that's it. So I'm missing 2. This is our first week of watch-alongs, and now's the question. I'm going to try to watch as much of these as I can live with you guys. I'm planning on starting around 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, and I'm not going to be able to show the film on the YouTube, but I'm going to have it playing and have this open for chat. I'm going to be able to talk with you, and we're going to be able to watch along. Just because it's the first week, are there any of these that you guys are dying to watch along as a group? Because some of these would be great. I think yes, I was going to bring this up, but I forgot the name Bob Kane. So The Man Who Laughs, if you have not seen it, apparently influenced Bob Kane for the Joker. And if you ever see the art for it, it's quite clear that it's very much an inspiration for the Joker. Cannot wait to finish that one. I hope my disc comes in before then. I should have ordered Diabolique, but I have not, and it definitely will not be here on time for Saturday now. This first week, anything that somebody wants to nominate for us to be able to do a test run, streaming together live, not me showing the movie. You can watch it yourself, but we can all watch it together. We can press play at the same time. We can do like a running commentary, stream through the entire movie, discuss it as it goes on, and have a good night hanging out, doing an actual watch along. And if it goes well, we can get a few of these stacked up over the next month. I personally, I think let's see, I think Just Before Dawn would be a fun one to do a running commentary of, but that's tomorrow, and it's a Friday night, so a lot of people might not be ready for that. I think The Wailing would be interesting. The only thing with The Wailing, let's see if I remember right, I think the running time on that one is a little long. Yeah, 2.5 hours. That might be a tough one for some people. Other than that, Motel Hell, for anybody that's never seen it, that would probably be a fun one to have a running commentary on. So I am going to plan on doing Just Before Dawn. John says he could do that on weekends. So I'm going to plan one for Sunday probably, and I'm going to plan Just Before Dawn for tomorrow. And if I don't have anybody watching along, I'll just shut it down. Simple as that. I will plan on trying Just Before Dawn tomorrow. Again, about 8 o'clock-ish Central, right around there. I'll put the stream up. Just make sure you turn on notifications on the channel, and it'll come up. If there is anything else throughout the week that you think sounds great, like The Witches would be fun. It might be fun to have one of my kids sitting with, reacting on the channel so we can all type together. Hilarious. By the way, I showed my kids, they've been asking about dinosaurs. I did my own research because it's been a couple years since I watched it. I watched Jurassic Park with my kids this week, and god dang does that movie hold up. If it's been a while since you've watched Jurassic Park, I showed my 5-year-old and my 6-year-old, and I do not regret it. There was not a lot in that movie. The worst was, there's a few bad words, but they hear worse all the time. And the toilet scene where the T-Rex gets the guy off the toilet and eats him is probably the worst in that movie. And my 5-year-old, the worst thing he did, he gasped and said, "What just happened?" It was fun. It was fun as hell. I'm so stoked. There's certain movies that I can finally show more adult type movies and not be as bored. I'd rather watch that than Daniel Tiger any day of the week. I can't wait. And the family friendly one this month, I think it's a really good lineup. We got The Witches, Paranorman. If you've not seen Paranorman, that is a great Leica title. One of the best. I think it holds its own with Coraline as possibly the best Leica title. Then after that, we got Monster Squad, classic. Come on. And then the last one going up streaming, I think like the 8th of October, but we're going to wait till the end of the month. The Muppets Haunted Mansion. Like I said, I love the Muppets. I've got Animal tattooed on my arm. I had to put it on there. The trailer just for that just dropped like a week ago. Looks hilarious. It's got some good stars in there. Yvette Nicole Brown's in it. Let's see who else was in there. I cannot remember now, but John says Ugga Mugga. Same to you. I'm not going to shake my nose. I just did it anyways. Yeah, going to be a great month. Not just for family-friendly movies. I've got that Google Docs ready to go. Just Before Dawn isn't streaming anywhere. It's not. Let me take a look. Did you check on Just Watch? I love that app. If you don't use it, let me check. Just Before. If this is not streaming, this might be a rough one. No, it is. Wait. Stream on FlixFling. Is FlixFling free? I've never even heard of FlixFling. What is that? Huh. Okay, that might be a tough one if it's not streaming anywhere. I probably should have looked that up before we decided on this. Let me look up Motel Hell, see if that's streaming. Same thing. Only what is FlixFling? Does anybody know what FlixFling is? Let's see what else we got this first week. FlixFling, still anybody? Even Vacancy is only streaming on Stars. The Wailing, that one is streaming on Prime Video. I don't think Motel Hell is on Pluto. Well, at least it's not showing in Just Watch. Let me look up Pluto TV. If it is, we will definitely do Motel Hell. Still, no, does anybody know what the hell FlixFling is? I've never even heard of it. Agreed, Jeff. Way too many streaming things to keep track of. It's hard enough to keep track of discs, let alone streaming services. Where is search function? Here we go. So, Motel Hell on Pluto TV. Oh, it says on demand. Yeah, that works. If we're lucky, it might be on Kino Cult. Well, it's a Code Red title. It could be. Let me go open it up real quick, see if it's listed somehow. That would be fantastic. Free and ad supported, I'd be all about that. Just Before Dawn. Unfortunately, it does not look like it. So we're going to make the first one that we stream together this week, Motel Hell, on Sunday. And I'm going to make this, we're going to go a little early on this one. We're going to say 2 p.m. Central on Sunday. I know a lot of people are going to be watching football. My apologies. But if you want to watch along, we're going to do Motel Hell, 2 p.m. Central. That'll be 3 Eastern or noon Pacific. Whew. Maximus says, FlixFling is the thing that when I see it as my only option on Just Watch, I just assume I'm not seeing it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to assume now too. Thanks for that. So Motel Hell, we are watching Sunday on Pluto TV, 2 p.m. Central. I will put up a streaming notice and we will watch along with that. After that, we might do The Wailing, Tuesday night, because I'm sure a lot of people are not going to be able to make Motel Hell on Sunday. Either way, even if you can't stream along with us, try to watch as many of these as you can. I'm going to attempt to watch all of these this week. Hopefully my week is a lot slower than last week. And then next Thursday, we're going to discuss. If anybody watched any of these, we're gonna go through them, see what you thought. Probably not give a lot of spoilers. Maximus says, football, I'd rather watch people be planted in the ground. Amen. I'm not a real big football person either, but I know like John is, a few other people are. Hope everybody has a good week. A lot to look forward to. Watch some of these if you can so we can talk about it next Thursday. I don't think we're going to have a ton of announcements this week. I think we're going to get those Scream Factory release announcements for December and see what we got coming up. Obviously, we're getting Vinegar Syndrome announcements tomorrow as well. So if you're into Vinegar Syndrome, be around tomorrow at noon Eastern, and you'll be able to purchase those titles for the month of October. That's all I've got. So thanks for hanging out. It's been a great stream again. Been a long time, almost 2 hours. Hope you had a good time. Let's do it again next Thursday. Start talking about some of these movies. As usual, from one collector to all of you, I hope you have a good night and be safe out there. Thanks to you all for hanging out. See you next time.